You're standing in front of a brand new electric SUV that promises everything, yet somehow manages to feel like absolutely nothing. Sounds weird, right? Well, stick around because what I'm about to tell you about this vehicle might just blow your mind or put you to sleep. Either way, you'll want to hear this. And hey, if you're enjoying this wild ride, smash that like button and hit subscribe. It genuinely helps more than you'd think. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or should I say the electric SUV in the showroom. We're diving into a vehicle that's got a name you might recognize, but here's the kicker. It shares almost nothing with its supposed sibling. Confused yet? You should be. This is marketing brilliance at its finest, or maybe its most bizarre. What we've got here is a fully electric crossover that somehow manages to look exactly like you'd expect, and absolutely nothing special at the same time. It's got DNA from another model mixed in there too, which just adds another layer of what's going on here. Let's start with what's staring you in the face. The front end? It's got this distinctive shape that almost looks aggressive, with a dark accent running across it that gives it character. The actual headlights sit lower than you'd expect, which is actually pretty clever. And obviously, there's no traditional grille because, well, electricity doesn't need to breathe. The charging port is positioned right where you'd want it, offering pretty decent charging speeds. You can go with the standard setup that'll give you a respectable charge rate, or upgrade to something faster on the premium versions. As for rapid charging, we're looking at getting from near empty to mostly full in about half an hour, which is pretty much the industry standard these days. Now, underneath all that sheet metal, there are two battery options to choose from. The smaller pack comes in at just under 60 kilowatt hours, while the larger one pushes past 77. The compact battery sends power exclusively to the front wheels, the ones doing most of the work anyway. The bigger battery setup? You can either keep it front-wheel drive or add another motor to power the rear wheels simultaneously. All these configurations roll on wheels ranging from 18 to 20 inches, and let me tell you, every single design looks like it'll be a nightmare to keep clean. Moving to the rear, there's a light strip that spans the entire width, a subtle spoiler that adds a hint of sportiness, and a bumper design that vaguely resembles an arrow pointing down. Groundbreaking stuff, really. But here's the thing. Setting aside the sarcasm for a moment, the exterior is perfectly adequate. Nobody's going to hate it, but nobody's going to stop in their tracks and stare either. It's safe. It's careful. It's there. Step inside and you'll immediately notice similarities to another model from the same manufacturer. There's a compact steering wheel that sits low, forcing you to peer over it at the instrument cluster ahead. Then you've got this larger touchscreen dominating the center of the dashboard, around 14 inches of screen real estate that's actually pretty responsive. Everything feels snappy and well-organized. The interface is clean and intuitive, and here's something I genuinely appreciate. The climate controls and volume adjustments stay visible at the bottom of the screen all the time. No digging through menus just to change the temperature. The seats deserve a special mention. They're wrapped in this textured material that's somewhere between suede and velvet, and honestly, they're really comfortable. There's an option for a glass roof that stretches overhead, which does wonders for making the interior feel more spacious and airy. Beyond that, you've got some nice touches throughout. The dashboard materials feel quality, though you'll notice something missing. There's no traditional storage compartment up front because the climate system takes up that space. Instead, you get extra storage elsewhere. There's a dual wireless charging pad for your devices. The gear selector is positioned right where your hand naturally falls. A couple of cup holders for your beverages, and this side-opening center console that's actually pretty clever. It's got a false bottom so you can hide valuables underneath. The door pockets are generous, and there's even more storage space tucked under the center console area. Again, it's all perfectly nice, but nothing that'll make you call your friends about it. Climbing into the back seat reveals a mixed bag. The space is acceptable, nothing more. Sitting behind my own driving position, I've got adequate leg room and plenty of clearance above my head. But here's what really stands out, and not in a good way. My knees are sitting unusually high. The floor is raised significantly, which creates this uncomfortable sensation like you're perched rather than seated properly. It's not painful, but it's definitely noticeable, and over longer journeys it might start to bother you. The trim levels are straightforward. You've got three main options, with the middle tier predicted to account for the vast majority of sales. We're talking 70%. That middle option comes standard with 18-inch wheels and those comfortable textured seats, while the top trim upgrades to leather and throws in some additional tech features. The good news is that even the most popular configuration comes well equipped with plenty of features and technology, so you're not feeling shortchanged. Cargo capacity sits at just over 400 liters, which sounds decent until you start comparing it directly to competitors. Some rivals offer noticeably more space, which could be a deal-breaker if you regularly haul stuff around. But for everyday use, it'll probably do just fine. Now let's talk about what it's actually like to drive this thing. The entry-level setup with the smaller battery and front-wheel drive produces 175 horsepower. On paper, that doesn't sound particularly exciting, and honestly, it probably isn't. But at the opposite end of the spectrum, the top-spec version I'm testing, the one with all-wheel drive, the massive battery, and every performance upgrade, pumps out 338 horsepower. That's actually a serious amount of power. We're talking about the most powerful vehicle from this manufacturer outside of their dedicated performance division. The really big news. Despite having all that power and being capable of rocketing from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just over 5 seconds, the car feels completely disinterested in showing off. Not everything needs to be a thrill ride, I get that. But this is bordering on boring. Watch this. I'm going to come to a complete stop and then floor it. Now, I'm used to electric vehicles being punchy and immediate. Ready? This is supposedly the quickest model they offer. Nearly 340 horsepower on tap. I'm pretty sure I could beat this on foot. The steering is precise enough. It's quiet inside, well, mostly. There's a bit of wind noise coming from the side mirrors at highway speeds. The brakes do exactly what they're supposed to do. You've got 4 levels of regenerative braking that you control with paddles behind the steering wheel, and the system works smoothly. But here's the fundamental issue. This vehicle feels like someone went through with sandpaper and removed anything that might be considered fun. It's tidy, it's capable, but it's completely indifferent to excitement or driver engagement. Okay, I realize this sounds harsh, like I'm criticizing it while simultaneously admitting there's nothing actually wrong with it. And that's precisely the problem. The manufacturer describes this as being designed as a well-rounded package, and everything is executed in a deliberately understated manner. It's built to be competent across every category rather than exceptional in any specific area at the expense of something else. But in today's market, you need something special to grab attention. And the supposed special feature, being the most powerful model outside the performance range, well, so few people were expected to buy the all-wheel drive version that it's not even being offered in certain markets. So the options become the long-range version with front-wheel drive, or the most popular configuration with the smaller battery, also front-wheel drive, arriving later. Which means if I were actually spending my own money on one of these, I'd definitely go for maximum range. That would be the large battery with front-wheel drive only, producing 221 horsepower. I've actually tested that version too, and you know what? It's genuinely pretty good to drive. It's adequately quick, exceptionally quiet, composed and capable, likely the sweet spot of the entire lineup. But that particular configuration achieves an official range of 373 miles, which is genuinely impressive, even if a couple of competitors squeeze out slightly more. Here's where the manufacturer really gets it right. Ownership experience. The vehicle starts with a standard 3-year warranty. But here's the clever part. If you maintain it through official service centers according to schedule, the battery warranty extends all the way to 10 years or 650,000 miles. That's an absolutely staggering amount of peace of mind. The pricing isn't bad either. It's positioned competitively in the market, slotting in between other models from the same brand, starting just under $35,000 and topping out around £37,000, which puts it right in the competitive sweet spot. So here's the final verdict on this electric crossover, at least in its current form. It's fine. But it's fine in the exact same way that plain water is fine when you're thirsty. It's fine like a basic sandwich when you're hungry. It's fine like beige walls in an apartment. It accomplishes the task without any flair or personality that makes it memorable. When the most compelling aspect of a vehicle is its warranty coverage, that tells you everything you need to know about the driving experience. My honest recommendation? Definitely test drive some competitors before making a decision. There are options out there that offer more character, more space, and potentially more value. This one does the job, but it won't make your heart race. So there you have it. An electric SUV that's perfectly acceptable at absolutely everything while being genuinely exciting at absolutely nothing. If that's what you're looking for, you've found it. But if you want something that sparks joy or puts a smile on your face, keep shopping around. This one's for people who prioritize reliability and sensibility over absolutely everything else. Thanks for watching this deep dive. If this helped you make a decision, or helped you decide what not to buy, show some love with a like, and subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a comment below telling me what you think. Would you choose dependable and boring over exciting and risky? I genuinely want to know. Catch you in the next one, and until then, drive something that makes you happy, even if this isn't it.